Hi, my name is Rabbi Katz. Welcome to Mishlei Proverbs. Right? We know how the usual it goes. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's right. That's right, Shannon. We ended last week with the keys to get through. This is February 2nd, 2016 Mishlei. We ended last week with the words, right? You guys hear that idiom? It's called the words. Right? Like, they say there's bad words. Pam, don't you be saying any bad words in here. Pam, stop saying bad words. So it's the same kind of thing. The words. You got bad words and you got the words. Right? You hear it though? You guys hear the vernacular coming off? You hear it? Just like you say, stop saying bad words, start saying the words. The words are the keys to get in anywhere you got to go. Right? Bad words will get you kicked out. The words will get you kicked in. So we got to figure out, just like last time. That's a true statement right there, fam. That's right. Is words. We got is words, the words. That's how language is, though. That's what we're finding out. That is really how language works. Okay. Everybody think, all right? Put your thinking cap on. Say goodbye to moron man. Everybody, wherever you're at, vocalize out loud. Say goodbye to moron man right now. Say it. Bye, moron man. Nice seeing you. You try to infiltrate this class, but we kicked you out. We got things to do. So, moron man, take a hike. Everybody, 1 or 2. Did you all say goodbye to moron man? All right, moron man's out of here. So now we got literate man, right? To become literate. Are we all now literate? 1 or 2. Are we literate? So now that we're literate, then you're in the moment and you're seeing a meme. And on that meme, we have done the whole meme except for the end. Proverbs 1:2. To know wisdom and instruction, to discern the words. We understood last time what the words are. It's kind of funny. This is why I learned in Texas, by the way. Here's my opening statement. Every week we do an opening statement. When I was driving around with Mike in Waco, I'm going to use my Texas accent to pull this one off. Me and my study buddy Mike were in Waco, and we was driving down by the college Baylor, and my study buddy Mike said to me, "You know why they call it Baylor? And the Yankees, they call it Baylor. Does anybody know why the Yankees call it Baylor? And down south they call it Baylor? Who wants to tell me why? Sometimes you just gotta ask why. Anybody know why? Mike told me because it ain't spelled Bailor, Baylor. It's B-A-Y, Baylor. 1 or 2. And you want to say that this Texas guy is like a hick, and it's not right. But I realized I spent 3 days with Mike, and I realized, man, Texan Kabbalah and wisdom is actually right. It's not just a quirky little thing. Is why we wear cowboy boots down here? I said, why, Mike? He said, because when you're out in the field, you got the rattlesnake will bite you, so you got the cowboy boots to protect you against the bite. Then he said, you know why we wear a big old hat? I said, why do you wear a big old hat? He says, because that's called shade. It's hot down here. You're going to have shade. 1 or 2. So I realized that when people have quirky things, don't just say it's a quirk. So if you want to pronounce this verse correctly, you would say, to know wisdom and instruction, or again, however you would want to say that, to know wisdom and instruction, to discern the words. All of a sudden, I became Texan. What is that? 1 or 2. You hear that? You say, like, what's this with this guy? He got all text on the words. You can't not pronounce it the words. You have to become a Texan to say the words. You hear it? I'm not even joking. This is not a joke. If you're going to articulate the meaning of the concept within the words, as we understood it, it has to come out as the words. You hear it? Phonetically, it's impossible not to be Texan on that thing. The words. 1 or 2. It just won't, you won't convey the meaning. If you just say, oh, the words, this is how yeshivish works. When you do a zimun in blessing, 3 people eat at a meal, right? Y'all know about this? 3 people eat at a meal, you say grace after meals. It's called Birkat HaMazon with a zimun, 1 or 2. When I was in yeshiva, the guy said to me, you know how you're supposed to say the Talmud. You invite everyone to bless. You say, gentlemen, in Hebrew, let us come to bless. That's what you say. Rabbi Sayin Avarech, right? And the guy that taught me, Rabbi David Klein, he said, you know the best way to say this? You guys want to know? This was a 21-year-old kid, 22-year-old kid in yeshiva. You know what they told us? Y'all want a bench. Bench is Yiddish for bless. He said, I said, what? He said, that's really the best way to do it. And he said, y'all want a bench. I said, why? He said, Pam, you got to know this. He said, because y'all means what? More than one, isn't it? Doesn't it mean more than one? Right. Y'all means more than one. So it's me blessing, and Pam is the second one, but we need 3 people. So it's got to be more than one. So technically, y'all is the correct way to say, Rabbi Sayin Avarech, y'all want a bench. So I learned that lesson. This was before I got in touch with Gare in Texas. Right? You can even go back to my Torah of Shem series when I said this. How many of you remember me saying that in the Torah of Shem series? Y'all want a bench. Remember that? I think I said in the Torah of Shem series. So that different twangs convey deeper meanings. I mean, it really does. I don't know enough about every culture on the planet, okay? But when I was in Texas and you saw the talks I gave, sometimes a Texan accent just does it right. Like when Russell says it can't not. Well, it is. That's how you would say it. It can't not. The way you speak in wisdom. If you want to speak in literate English, well, that's a matrix fake language. It doesn't exist. Well, I found it rather difficult at time expressing my views. That's Noam Chomsky. And he's the biggest lowlife that ever really existed. He speaks great, but there's nothing there. So when you get into wisdom talk, you just say, this is the premise of yeshivish. You guys want to know how you say it in yeshivish? You want to know the essence of speaking yeshivish? Yeshivish is called you say the word that works. Whether it's English, Yiddish, Hebrew, Texan, it just doesn't matter. You can even invent a word on a spot. Literally make it up. If it's a word you need to say, then and it conveys the meaning, then you say it. You know what I mean? You just do what you got to do to get the message across. It's Amre Bina. It's the words. You see what I'm saying? You use the words that you need to use that people get to get the message. Obviously, you'll never be able to write it down in a proper grammar, in a proper form. But when communicating an idea in a soul discussion, the way you pronounce this expression, the words, it's the words. You get it? It's a slur. Texans don't slur because they're dumb. They slur it because there's meaning there. It's Byler. And I ain't Byler, dude. It's Byler. This is how it is. All right. With that said, the point is you got to open your mind. You got to be able to explore the over-the-top radical in form of expression and communication, not in the formulation of the concept and idea. That has to come from Torah wisdom. But what the problem that people have is once you get Torah wisdom, how do you convey that to another person? That's called Facebook-itis, 1 or 2. Right? You guys come to Mishlei class, well, I get it, but how am I going to tell someone else the story? Right? Can you write moron man on your wall? Not so easily. Well, I had to say goodbye to moron man before I went to class with the Rough Cats, and we wished him well, bless his heart. Moron man was, you can't repeat this stuff. but you'd love to. They call that you had to be there. It's one of those I had to be there moments. It is important. Oh, man, Pam, when I learned what bless your heart means in Texas, oh, man, that's an expression. Bless their heart. It is the truth. Man, it's the truth. It is the truth. That's a golden statement. That's what it is. But look, slang and cliche terms and cultural isms, they have meaning. These are not dumb people saying dumb stuff. You know, if you say it where you come from, there's a reason. You're conveying meaning. Right? Bless your heart means I don't want to say nothing bad about you, but bless your heart. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's like insulting someone with a nice hug and kiss, and you say, be well, you know, I love you, but it ain't working here. So, bless their heart. Now, let's change focus, okay? Did you guys feel that just now? One or two of you felt it. Did you feel the conscious energy shift? I started telling Loretta about that, right? You got to be able to catch the conscious shift. One or two, did you feel the consciousness shift? We were in levity, and we went right back with laser focus into the meme. Lars, did you feel that we were having a good time? And then, boom, back into the meme, and we're focused, as if the jokes never happened. You see it? There's no levity here. There's no levity here. We were never joking. Isn't that right? There was never a joke. It is pure focus on that meme. One or two. Do you feel it? Type one. Why you don't feel it? Do you feel the seriousness that the energy took on to? If you don't, ask Eric Bryan if it got serious. Because I know Eric Bryan felt it. Pam certainly felt it. I'll tell you why this is a valuable skill. Could be. Could be. The point is that in the Talmud and in learning Hebrew, okay, this is the skill. If you're learning the tractate Shabbos, and it's saying, you know, if you carry outside, you get in trouble, punishable by death, kind of blah, serious talk, dying. And it's proven by a verse in Mishlei. Number one thing, what are you going to do? Eric Bryan, what are you going to do? Tractate Shabbos was talking about death and dying and Shabbos and boring draconian laws, but it's somehow proof from Mishlei. What are we going to do? Hurry up. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? You going to go on? You ignore it? What are you going to do? I wanted to prove from Mishlei. Let's go. Everybody, answer the question. What are we going to do? Talmud Tractate Shabbos wants to talk about laws and draconian stuff, and it proves its case from verse in Mishlei. That's right. You gotta do the hardest thing in the world. You gotta change gears. You gotta let go. Right? Shabbos went bye-bye. You got to get up. Oh, dude, I got to get up. Yeah, you got to get up. Get the book open. Find the verse. You got to find it quickly. You know, laser focus because it's going to get stale real quick. How in the world are you supposed to be able to snap in and out like that? The answer is feel the change in motion. What happened when it said, hey, just like it says in Mishlei? There's a one-word answer. I want to see it typed right now. What happened? Something happened. It should be a one-word answer on the chat screen. Something happened. We're talking about draconian laws and carrying, as it says in a verse in Mishlei. What happened? What happened? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an F. I'll give you a hint. There you go. Space Ghost got it. Fog came in. Once that fog came in, don't call it confusion. Call it what? Change in consciousness. Shabbos ended. We're done with that. Now we're in Mishlei. Why? Because it happened. We don't have time to argue about it or question about it or complain about it. Talmud said Mishlei. That means it got foggy. It means get up. We're done. We left that behind. It's gone. Ancient history. No going back to it. Now we're in Mishlei. Finding the verse. That's right. Embrace the fog. You got it? Now we're in Mishlei. Wherever it goes, that's where it goes. And guess what happens? Mishlei sends you on a wild goose chase. And everyone's like, what happened to Shabbos? It doesn't matter. Why? Because we'll get there. How? We just will. Why do we know that? Because it always does. It just does. It will get there. If we have to take a diversion and go where we need to go, then that's right. Most of it's no, it's not a rabbit trail. It's called getting through the fog. And now that you got us on a journey, we're going to get through the journey. And we will get back there. We'll get the spark of wisdom, and it will be okay. Understand how to recognize the conscious shift. Everyone feels it, but you got to acknowledge it and admit it. Okay? You got to be able to feel the shift, because that shift is reality. And you cannot argue with reality. Reality is. Now, we can change reality. But first, you got to acknowledge reality. Where people get lost in my lectures and videos when they argue with reality. Oh, he's not really going there, is he? Yeah, he really is. Oh, is he going to get lost? We don't know. We're not there yet. This may be the biggest single discipline in learning Torah that exists. Being able to be swift and focused in and out of position, because that's what happens when you go from text to text. And when you learn Ger, you're not sitting in one spot. That's just how it is. Because Ger is the span of the entire Torah. We have definitely proven that by now. One or two. All right. Now, let's start meditating. Focus, okay? I'm going to sign off. All right? I'm no longer with you. The mission is we're done with the words. We're left with of understanding. We don't know how the class is going to go. Is that true? One or two? We don't know. We really don't know. It's not up for us to know. Let's find out what happens. Go into the word of, coming out of the words, and let's find out what happens. Okay? I'll meet you on the other side. Focus into it. See what happens. We're going to go somewhere. I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. Now did you feel the shift? We're in the fog. Have fun in the fog. Are you saying you don't hear me? I went quiet because I'm meditating. You're supposed to be meditating. I'm supposed to be reading the meme to figure out where we're going. You need to be focusing on that word of until it means something to you. What do you mean, Space Coast? As in the words? You're talking about the words? The words are just the words. There's like no limitation. It's the thing. The word of, we don't know what of means. That's where we're at now. I'm curious. I have no idea what of means. That's it. So, but the concept exists in Hebrew. There's no of. We got to figure out what is going on in the brain and the wisdom that this guy felt the need to say of, right? Something happened in Hebrew wisdom. That's what we need to figure out. Ah, got it. Oh, there we got it. Got it. There it is. Hold on. I got it. All right, this is very hard, but you're going to get this, all right? I'm going to teach you this concept. I got it. Wow, this is really nice. All right, everybody, put your thinking caps on. Type 1 or 2 when you're ready to be brutal. Ready? Ready? This is called the soft mind. I want you to really think here, all right? Everybody say the word in your own space. Just repeat after me. Understanding. Type 1 when you've already done that. and I want you to think about what the word means. This is not a hard thing right now, okay? This is very simple. You should all be saying one, understanding. Just comprehension, basic. This is elementary, okay? Understanding. 1 + 1 = 2. That's called understanding. Got it? Now, we're going to go into theory here for a second. This is theory, okay? We're going to come back to reality here. I promise you. There's this thing called understanding, right? And there's, again, this is theory, hypothetical. Go with me on this journey. There's this thing called understanding, right? And there's different schools of understanding. Let's say there's easy understanding, right? Go ahead. One. Easy understanding. And there's complex understanding. Isn't everybody one? And there's abstract understanding, right? One. And backwards understanding, like Pig Latin. To get Pig Latin, we have to have backwards understanding. And when we're in school, remember when we were in school and we learned all about understanding? Remember that? Remember when they said that 1 + 1 = 2? And they said, yes, Brian, that's called easy understanding. And you said, yes, that is easy understanding. Remember that, Brian? And then they said, but Brian, what is 2 - 1? And you said, that's backwards understanding. They said, yes, Brian, that's right. It is backwards understanding. Remember in Mishlei class, guys? Remember that time? One? Yeah? Remember? Remember we learned about the Torah kind of understanding? Do you remember that? Remember when we learned about that? What was that understanding called? That was called of understanding. 1 or 2. You caught this? Did you hear it? It's a kind of understanding. It's called of understanding. Did you cop that? Say it out loud. Hear it, feel it, breathe it, absorb it. Of understanding. Now you're saying, what does that mean, of understanding? I have no idea. We're still in the fog. We're not out of the fog. It's not my job to say what of understanding is. Shlomo was about to tell us. There's something called of understanding. You cop this? There's something called of understanding. I don't know what it is yet, but there's something called of understanding. Now, I do know what it is, and I'm not telling you the story, so let's tell the story. You want to hear the real story in Hebrew? Remember our word lahavin? Remember our word lahavin? So the understanding was a process, right? Of breaking it down into fine, small pieces, correct? 1 or 2. So we know that Solomon is speaking about a type of understanding process, how to get into the deeper realm of the world, right? King David's Psalms, 1 or 2. So in English, and we don't know why yet, we know, wait, before we say that, do we understand the concept in Hebrew? Yes or no? 1 or 2. There should be 1. So then we don't know the concept in English. And we're now in the English, 1 or 2. So it works out in the English that when we have this concept called breaking it down for comprehension, the English language wants to say that that is called of understanding. Lehavin, of understanding. Hear my enunciation. The word of is not a useless word like you're all used to saying. When you all use the word of, you don't think you mean anything, but you do. It's called of understanding. You hear my pronunciation and my enunciation? It's called of understanding. Of understanding, which is different than just understanding. Eric, do you understand? Or no, rather, Eric, do you have understanding? 1 or 2. Eric, do you have understanding? Eric, do you have of understanding? In terms of, do you understand the concept? I'm going to bring you a meme on this one. Ready? I got to think about where it is. Hold on 1 second. I know the clip. You're gonna hold on 1 second. Let me think of this. 1 second. Where's that? It's from the movie Stand By Me. Hold on a second. Where was this? Got it. You're gonna love this one, guys. You owe me for this. This is gonna touch the moment. Watch this. This is cool. This is gonna be really cool. Don't tell me it's not a clip on here. What is this? It's not a clip. How's that not a clip? How is that not a clip? They got the wrong movie. I forget the clip. You guys know the concept pinky swear? I forget which movie that was where this is like, you swear? Yeah, I swear. You really swear? Yeah. Do you pinky swear? I pinky swear. You know that one? All right. So Eric, you have Eric, you have understanding? Eric, you have understanding? 1 or 2? Eric, do you have of understanding? There you go. You guys hear it? It's emphasis. It's an emphasis and a particular kind of understanding. You get it? There's something called understanding, and then there's a particular kind with emphasis, understanding. And I'm guessing this is probably the female Bina understanding is of understanding. Pam and Shannon, how am I holding on that one? Shannon, you concur on this one? Men are trying to get understanding. Eric, you and I have an understanding. You stay on your side of the room. I'm on mine. What happened? We never talked. Why? We had an understanding. Eric was over there. I'm over here. And that was it. We have our understanding. You don't bother me. I don't bother you. Why? You have no reason to bother me, Eric. So if you're bothering me, then we have a problem because you broke the understanding. How many of you guys know this kind of thing, right? A woman would say there being an understanding, it's called of understanding, which means Eric and I can come into our portion all the time. That's not a breach in the contract for some reason, right? It's a different kind of understanding. It's of understanding. Our job now is to find out, in the words of Shlomo, what of understanding is, and then we'll understand proper female bina of the female understanding, which is of understanding. And it's kind of embarrassing. I was a guy trying to figure this out. We have, representatives in here that probably know this very simply. So Pam and Shannon, pardon me, will I be a man for a minute and try to figure this out in the Hebrew? And hopefully we come down with normal vernacular of how to get this. So I think it's a big deal because I do know that's where Shlomo's going, and we should be able to give the articulation of the type of understanding that goes on in Bina, wisdom, which in Kabbalah, that really is the linchpin of the entire Kabbalistic tree. And I know that Loretta was telling me that that's what this is women have the mochin, the brain. What the Torah is trying to bring to the female is real-time, live-time articulation of that thinking process through the words of wisdom of Torah. Is that true, Pam? 1 or 2? There you go. I'm going to step out for 1 second. Go ahead and talk amongst. I'm going to get a drink too. My throat is really thirsty here. So talk amongst yourself if you want. Come back in 2 minutes. Okay. Let's go. I got it. I'm ready to go. I got this. All right, Brian, let's go. We're going to go to our friend. I'm going to Google Miriam, meaning word of. That's a weird word to look up since they do it. Here, just go to the Miriam website and type in of. And okay, here we go. And And let's go. Let's go. This is awesome. Oh, well, this is going to be really good. This is going to be really, really good. Brian, with me? Let's go. Got the mic? Link? Let's go.
Okay, sorry, I had to step out. Definition, we got of.
Remember to go slow. I'm going to stop you. Go ahead.
Okay. Belonging to.
Stop. Well, just go ahead. Read the whole thing. I got it. So read the whole thing again. We're going to break this up. Go ahead. Now, the whole first thing.
Belonging to, relating to, or connected with someone or something.
Okay. Belonging to, relating to, connected with someone or something. There's a dash there. Let's see the dash. Let's see if we can do the dash. Go ahead.
Used to indicate that someone or something belongs to a group of people or things.
I'm seeing it. Keep going.
Living or occurring in a specified country, city, town, etc.
Wow. This is identity. Of means identity. Identifying understanding. We're done. That's it. It's only going to be only proof here on it. You got that? That's it. Keep going, Brian. I think we got it. It's just identity. Keep going. It's how do you identify? It's like identifying, identifiable. Keep going.
Full definition. 1. Used as a function. Used as a function word to indicate a point of reckoning, such as north of the lake.
Identify. Keep going.
2a. Used as a function word to indicate origin or derivation.
Or identity. And I'm seeing the word mazel in here as identity. Your mazel, where you're from. I mean, everyone knows when I do a name read, those of you that had your names done, if your name means Alejandro living by a lake in Swahili, what am I going to say to you? The name means that it's a mazel inclination. They define it. The name means a guy who lived by a lake. That's what Alejandro means, right? A guy who lived by a lake. Why would they name the guy Alejandro then? Because that's the mazel. The mazel is there's some guy that once upon a time was living by a lake. What are we saying here? North of the lake. So the guy's name is of. Another way of saying Alejandro means of. My name is David of Sfat. What does that mean? My mazel is I am in Sfat. I am Sfat. David is Sfat. Sfat is David. David of Sfat. Of is the identity in the mazel. Brian, keep going.
Used as a function word to indicate the cause, motive, or reason, such as died of flu.
You skipped the one above it, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
Look what it is. It's mazel. This is mazel. Your mazel is your ofness. Eric of the I Get Gear group said to me the other day. Oh, did he? Did Eric Bryan of the I Get Gear group say to you? You mean, Eric, whose mazel is that he is attached to the I Get Gear group? Keep going.
Okay. C, we could say by, as of plays of Shakespeare.
Yeah, keep going.
D, on the part of, so very kind of you, as an example.
Wait, hold on. What does that mean? Very kind on the part of. On the part, very kind. This is very Brian. Brian helps old ladies cross the street. That's very Brian. That was so Brian. That was very kind of you. See? Same thing. Keep going.
occurring in.
Brian only helps old ladies cross the street in Michigan because that's a Michigan thing. People of Michigan help them do that. Keep going.
3, used as a function word to indicate the component material, parts, or elements, or the contents, such as a throne of gold or a cup of water.
Wait a second. Used as a function word. It's an icker to indicate the component. Yeah, that's right. Cup of water. It's an icker. That's an icker. So, cup of water. Ikarim. The function, the dynamic. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. It's like the function of prayer is God hears you, right? The ikker of prayer. You pray, God responds, right? So therefore, a cup of water. What does a cup exist for? For the put water in it. Cup of water. Now, how's the word of? Why do they use the word of for that? Because the of is the ikker. Cup of water. What's that? Wow, that's good. Throne of gold. So yeah, the word of doesn't go with gold. The word of goes with throne. It's called throne of. See that? It's not called of gold. It's throne of. Throne of, gold. That's how you'd say it. Throne of gold. That's how you say it in the Hebrew. And I'll prove it to you. Ready? Hey, Eric. Thanks for coming over, buddy. How you feeling? Hello? Good. Can I get your cup of? Can I get your cup of? Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. There can only be one thing in a cup. It's certainly not air. It's a liquid. Right? It's like ultra slang. Or how about this? Eric, can I get your cup? I work in a coffee cafe, and Eric came to see me. Hey, Rabbi Kaz, how you doing, Eric? Hey, Eric, can I get your cup? No one's questioning that, are you? No one's questioning that. Hey, Eric, can I get your cup? That's it. That's it. It is just a Travis Armstrong word. It's just it. I'll have a cup of it. Keep going.
4a, used as a function word to indicate the whole that includes the part denoted by the preceding word, such as most of the army.
Hold on a second. Used as a function word to indicate the whole that includes the part denoted by the preceding word. Most of. So there's a whole army, and there's a not a whole army called most of the army. That's it. Most of. Most of. All right, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. This is Brian Regan. This is Brian Regan. Ready? So there was a war. War broke out. You know, it was the army, but it wasn't the whole army. It was most of. It was most of. There was the army, but then there was most of. You hear it? And Brian Regan fits perfect. That's how his comedy would go. Right? There's the army. The army. So what? Mean all the country went to war? Nah, most of. It was most of. And you know what I mean? Right? It means if we have 500 fighter planes, if most of went, that means what? 100 planes were in action? Right? So it's like if I were to just say war, and you say, what kind? And I say, the army. Really? The army? Well, most of. You hear it? That's true. This is Brian Regan humor. He is a the word kind of guy. That's who he is. Wisdom is funny. That's just how it works. Keep going, Brian.
Believe 4b. Used as a function word to indicate a whole or quantity from which a part is removed or expended. He gave some of his time.
Used as a function word to indicate a whole or quantity from which a part is removed. Wait a second. What? Hold on. Used as a function word to indicate a whole or quantity from which I have time as it came of his time. Okay, hold on. It's a function word. This is called Iker in Hebrew. I mean, this is massive. All of Kabbalah comes down to this point. Iker. Iker is the essence of wisdom. You should know that. That's why this is spot on. Spot on. All right, I'm going to tell you how the dark side manipulates wisdom for its gain. Ready? The reason why Christianity works because they made Jesus into an Iker. Iker is like the function of wisdom, right? Well, but Christianity had to make a fake story to get to work. But in real wisdom, you don't need the fake story. But here's how it goes in Christianity, right? So since we're born into, what do you call it, perpetual sin or whatever it's called, whatever that word, how that goes, right? Then Jesus comes because since we're stuck, and then if we connect to him, then by that we get to heaven. That's you see how they make Jesus an Iker? You see, Jesus is the thing. So if I believe in Jesus, then Jesus has a function, and that function does the thing that undoes the original problem. Now, it's a nice wisdom in terms of how wisdom works, only the whole story is fake, and it's a fake wisdom, right? So in real wisdom, it's like this. A football play is an Iker, right? It's like this. The defensive back for the Broncos is I forget I give this example for. He's a guy who's an alcoholic, and the night before the Super Bowl, we sent beers to his room, and he got drunk. So then what happens is the Iker is, since we know he's fundamentally flawed, you can bank on the fact that the wide receiver is open on that guy. That's not true on every player all times. Do you see what I'm saying? That there's a variable, a static variable, that if you use and hit that variable like a function, it produces a desirable outcome. One or two. You see it? So, I mean, Jesus works the same way, right? We are low-life people in original sin. Therefore, we are flawed. If we believe in it, and they pervert it. They pervert it. They take the dynamics of wisdom into a fake story. Star Wars is the same thing, right? There's always two, the Sith, and that's because it's the Eights or whatever you want to fill in that blank, right? Who's raised parents? Oh, it was Luke Skywalker because it was, wisdom can be seduced to the dark side, right? We know that. That's what makes the world tick. That's what witchcraft is all about. But I'm only doing that to prove a point. In real wisdom, the Torah of Shem is real wisdom used not for exploitation and for pernicious design. For example, let me think of an Iker here. Here's an Iker. Here's a classic Iker, right? Rebuild Jerusalem. The Talmud says that God will sit, so to speak, in the Jerusalem above, and we will congregate in the Jerusalem below. Do you see how that's an Iker? It's an Iker, right? When we work to build Jerusalem below, it builds Jerusalem above, and the Shephet can come down. You're causing a function and a dynamic as prescribed by the holiness of the Torah. And the betachon, the trust in God, is when it works. Now, Christianity just doesn't work. On a very simple level, that's why it's wrong. It just doesn't work, right? If believing in Jesus actually granted Mashiach himself, Tovia Singer says this, right? If what does he say? I forget his famous quote. All right, if you can find me in Tanakh where Jesus is all this, then I will believe. That's what Tovia always says. But you can't show me one verse. And that's what every cult, everything. But in Torah Judaism, we have betachon, that we have to believe in the wisdom of the Torah. And we believe that when we do what the Torah wants, there will be a Messiah that will come, and the third temple will be rebuilt, kacha, 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 right? The question is, are you investing your soul in a holy endeavor or a fruitless endeavor? This is what Solomon warns against. Don't go with, he says, a seductive woman, meaning something of seduction. He uses an analogy of a woman because it's an easy metaphor, right? If you buy my drugs, I'll be your best friend, and I'm a cool guy, and you'll be a cool person too. Is that not a avowed wisdom? It's in filth and tuma, right? But in our little thing, it's using the dynamic of a principle and variable. One or two. It's a dynamic and it's a variable, right? The question is, do you want your mind invested in that? How about Nintendo? If you beat the boss at the end of the level, you get to go to the next level, and you can tell your friends that you beat Mike Tyson on the highest level of the video game. This is the essence of Avodah Zorah and witchcraft. Real quick, what is Iker or real quick? Real quick. Is it Iker or it's Ikar? If you're gonna Ikar, I would, if you want to be really yeshivish, it's this. If you want to pronounce it correctly, it's this. It's really an Ikar, but it's really an Iker. If you're talking to a rabbi, it's an Iker. You see? The Torah says if you wear tefillin, the Torah of Hashem will be in your mouth. One or two, is that an Iker? One or two, is that an Iker? You understand it? You wear tefillin, the Torah is in your mouth. Now, if you want to not believe in that, that's your prerogative. You said, I wore tefillin, it didn't happen. Well, why would God put it in your mouth if you're basically saying it's not going to happen? Eric, I think you're a horrible person. Will you be my friend and show me that you're a nice guy? I still think you're a horrible person. What are the chances of me seeing that Eric is a good person? Right. Now, if I say, look, Eric, I really don't know you. I heard you're a good guy. I want to hang out with you and see if you're a good guy. I think you are. I just want to, let's do it. Let's go hang out and it'll be good. What are the chances of Eric being a good guy, according to the analogy? 1. We're on type 1. Assuming things are normal, right? But, it's right. But if you're going to go into it with a nasty attitude, right? And don't go into it with a fantasy attitude. If I just believe in Jesus, I'll be saved. No. You can't have no wisdom in it. Right? If I believe in the Wizard of Oz, I can be saved too. You know? If I believe in Pluto, I could be saved. Maybe. I don't know. Who are we to judge? There has to be wisdom involved. That's why Torah is the holy wisdom. Because it's from God. If you believe that, if you're not believing it, then there's nothing to talk about. Right? And the believability is in, do you recognize holiness? Okay? How many of you have been to Jerusalem? Type 1 if you've been to Jerusalem. Anybody? Anybody with 1? Lars, Loretta? Okay. So who we got here? 2 people. Lars and Loretta. Type 1 or 2 if Jerusalem is holy. Okay. Did you have to be convinced of that? Did we twist your arm that you're going to go to hell if you don't say it? Or is it just a comment? Is it just a fact? Okay, Jerusalem's a holy place. What do you want from me? Who are we to argue? It just is a reality, right? Some things in life are just reality, right? Why did God create a holy city? I don't know. Ask God. But, to have no knowledge of, this and that, or to say, well, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Let God bring the temple, and I'll, maybe go if I agree with God. And if I see that God is holy, maybe I'll believe. What are the chances of that guy having any chance at all to have an experience? None. That's the opposite of betachon. That's called a mullik. That's Suffolk. I don't like you, Eric Bryan. Maybe you will be nice. If you want to prove me you're nice, Eric, go ahead. But I don't like you. But if you want to, maybe you can prove to me that you're okay. We can talk about it. What do you think, Eric? 1 or 2. So, don't be that way. Don't be that way. And don't say, Eric is a lovely soul. he's probably a tzaddik and the greatest guy ever, and blah, 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 which it might be true. But don't be an idiot about it. Just, because otherwise more on me is going to happen, and the waitress is going to spill coffee, and I'm going to blame. It's just, again, So you have to have your eyes open. Okay, now, with that said, and I don't expect an easy one or two here, okay? This is probably the hardest question I'm ever going to ask you. I'll take comments, okay? How do you feel about the word Iker? Where are you guys holding in the sensitivity of mind? Because this is really what it comes down to, okay? Moses, the rabbi, did not write the Torah. Understand that. Moshe Rabbeinu did not write the Torah. You want to know who wrote the Torah? Go ahead and type one or two if you want to know who wrote the Torah. Moshe Navi'enu. Moses, our prophet. Do you hear the difference? Do you hear the difference? You have to say it this way. Why? Because every word in Torah is an Iker. You understand this? This is massive. You cannot say their words because they're not. Greek wisdom says, we know what the word universe is. We know what this is. The Greek wisdom was, we know everything. We have encyclopedias. Torah wisdom says, the Tanakh is the DNA reality of existence through the Hebrew Iker words of the Tanakh. One or two. That's right. The words. It's a book of the words. The Tanakh is the official God-given document, manuscript of the words. Every one of the words is an Iker. You got this? Everything is an Iker in Torah, but you don't see it. You're moron, man, and you don't see it. So Moses, our prophet, becomes Moses, our rabbi, and then we argue those words. It goes in the Klippa. The Torah goes into Bria. It's a tree of knowledge of good and evil. If you want the tree of life, it's got to go back to the Iker. It's got to go back up to the holiness of Moses, our prophet. That's called the Torah of Shem. The Torah of Shem is the Torah of Iker words of Moses, our prophet. You understand now how the Torah of Moses contains a Torah of Shem? One or two. This is massive stuff here. So what Solomon is saying is he wants to have this knowledge and awareness so as to recognize the Iker, because everybody speaks in Iker. Eric, you are incapable of speaking in anything but Iker. But I think you're a moron because I'm a moron. So I say over, yeah, Eric said we're going to go to the store today. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. God spoke through Eric. If you would listen, it'd be a navon, and Eric was giving you an Iker. Rabbi Katz, let's go to the store to buy bread so that I know, because you need to buy bubble gum, and the bubble gum that you like is only found in the store where I need to buy bread. Would you like to go with me to the store, Rabbi Katz? But Eric can't say all that in one go. And I don't even know if Rabbi Katz likes me. Hey, Rabbi Katz, want to go to the store? The store? Oh, the word, Eric? Sure. Is that the store that has my gum? Either you're a navon and you heard it and trusted it, and Eric's not trying to get you killed at the store. He's trying to help you. And Shannon, you should be telling Travis, this is our craft head beer we're talking about on the Malachas. And Travis will know exactly what I'm talking about. You understand this, Eric? When you asked me to go to the store to buy bread, you don't care about me or your bread. You care about me getting my favorite gum at the store. Eric, can you bring me home my favorite shampoo? So why is she really saying favorite shampoo? Is she really so into herself? Is it about the favorite shampoo? Or is it because you need to see something at that store where the favorite shampoo is that is only good for you and the bettering of the society of planet Earth? 1 or 2. Why? Because God just runs the world, and that's how there is in this world. That's right. That's right. There's no accidents. Nothing bad happens. Oh, Eric, you bought me the wrong shampoo. You need to go back to Idaho on a plane to buy it. If that story is reality, then you got to smile and do it. Assuming it's reality. Again, if it's Christianity or some kind of other ridiculous thing, then back off and use your clippa. Right? Oh, Eric, you got to kill this guy to get shampoo. Hey, hold on. Torah says don't kill. Right? Christianity is against the Torah. But assuming that most people in their affairs and saying, Eric, want to get a pizza with me? All right, chances are it's probably not evil. Unless it is evil, then run. Again, most social contact is not going to be on that level. And if it is, you know about it anyways before it happens. So when it does and you feel the burden, Eric's in a hurry to go to work. Aren't you, Eric? 1 or 2? But you got to go to the bank before you go to work. 1 or 2? And you're an arrogant, egotistical hothead who wants to be the first one in line, and nobody else has the right to be in the bank the day that you get there. 1 or 2? And you found out, guess what? There's a 30-person wait, and you're number 31. Right? Didn't that happen? 1 or 2? Lucky you. Lucky you. You better start looking around because it's an icker. There's an icker here. I get to wait 30 people ahead of me as a dynamic function because there's something I get the opportunity to do. Now, you're going to lie to yourself, Eric Bryan, aren't you? Oh, my boss doesn't want me to be in here. Eric, are you going to get fired? Point blank. Are you going to get fired? No, you're not. Oh, so you're a liar. You're a liar. You're lying to yourself. He's going to fire me if I don't get you. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not going to like it. Does that matter? A lot of things he doesn't like about you. He doesn't like the fact that you take 5 extra minutes on your break. Doesn't change anything. Exactly, Lars. That's exactly the definition. It's brought down in Daniel. That is the definition. Root, i.e. main thing. So Eric's a liar. Okay? And he's lying to himself. Eric, stop lying. Okay? Reality says you'll be at work, just not when you want to get there. And your boss really doesn't care. He might like to growl. He just doesn't really care. So you're here, 30 other people. And you're saying like, well, I don't want to sit here. Well, yes, you do, or you wouldn't be there. You can leave. Eric, can you leave the bank if you wanted to? Yeah, you can go. What's keeping you here? You're the one agreeing to play by God's rules. If you don't like it, go. Go. Good. Oh, you don't want to. So you want to play, but you want to complain. You want to complain. You're mad at God. You got to be here, and your boss is going to fire you. Why do I have to sit here? You're missing the function. The icker is not to be complaining at the bank. Your job is to change paradigm shift directions. Wake up. Eric, trick question. Everybody on your toes. What's Eric's problem? Let's go. Type it. What is his problem? You should get it. No, it's not fog. It's not attitude. No, no, no. Come on. Let's go. What is his problem? Moron man set in. He's a moron. I don't belong here. I'm Eric Bryan. I don't belong in the bank waiting. I got a prestigious job to attend to. I'm not here with these reject people. Not paying attention and nothing. You're complaining, feeling sorry for yourself, and you're actually contemplating, I wonder if they would all let me agree to go first because I'm more important and special than they are. You're a liar and you're a pathetic liar. That's called moron man. Then you realize, hey, I'm being moron man. It's just the Yetzer Hara. It's ridiculous. I'm aware of that. Time to move it aside. Wake up. Now you're ready to play. Now you're ready to play. Everyone feel the conscious shift just now? You should have felt it because it kicked in pretty good. Feel it? Now Eric's ready. Now he's looking around. What happened to bad attitude, Eric? Oh, we don't know if we're on man. No. There's something going on here. It's gear on a mission. You talk about gear on a mission. Oh, it's gear on a mission. It's a mission. And now, whatever it needs to be, he's going to figure it out. Oh, he will figure it out. He will figure it out. He is never not armed. Because he's got the Iker. You see how we just did a case in point example of the Iker? Just as exercise was an Iker. There's never not an Iker. Sammy, the driving instructor, was an Iker. Did you cop that? Even in driving school, there's an Iker. You have a book in front of you. Did you ever think to open it up? How ridiculous can you be? You're in driving school. You want your license. You want to pass. The book is in English. You're not going anywhere for 6 hours. You never thought to open the book? How many of you guys have had people say, oh, I don't know about this gear stuff. Oh, I don't know about this gear stuff. One or two. Did you think about reading the book? Did you think about maybe reading the book? No, I never thought about that. Can't you just tell me what a gear is? No, I can't. Did you ever think about reading a book? That's called an Iker. There's a concept, opening a book. And I'm not being facetious. That's a real thing. It's a thing. If you can get strong enough in your brain to open a book, you can pretty much move anything. We saw that last week. Remember, we didn't want to look up one of the words. Remember that? There was a word, I'm like, oh, come on, it's not going to be that. Look how hard it was to click on a link. Right? Amazon had to get a one-click buy because people are too weak and lazy to click twice, one or two. I can't be clicking more than one. I can't be clicking all over the place. If it's not one click, they're not buying it. That's an Iker. That is a beautiful Iker. Click, just bought it. Click, click, click. Makes me nervous because the bank account goes down, but doesn't it feel good to know? You know, when you have a book you want to buy from Amazon, right? They click, being shipped to your house, Rabbi Katz. See you in a couple of days. Wow, that's something. But then when you got to get the instruction manual just to get it shipped to your house, not too fun. But if you turn the instruction manual into an Iker, it becomes funnier, Brian, doesn't it? Now, does everybody know what an Iker is? One or two? All right. Brian, Space Ghost Man, please keep reading.
I believe 5A, relating to, about, such as the stories of her travels.
Hold on. Relating to, about, stories. Yeah, okay, identity, I think. It's Mazel identity. It's of her travels. Keep going.
5B, in respect to, slow of speech.
Slow of speech. In respect to. Slow. She was slow of speech. In respect to. In respect to. He was slow of what? All right, wow, interesting. That's interesting. Slow of speech. Of speech. That's it. The phrase of speech is the same as of understanding. See that? That's our word. See it? Slow of speech. Words of understanding. Or the words of understanding. So how do they say it? In respect to. In respect to. Of speech. So that's our definition. Of respect to how I say it? Wow. Woohoo! We got it. How many women have said that the main gripe against men don't respect women? How many of us have heard that? And the man hears it like, well, I respect you. You make the best spaghetti dinner in the side of the world. And they say, that's not what we mean. Of course, I respect you. I don't call you stupid when you're cooking spaghetti. So the answer is that's not what respect means. It's of understanding. respect understanding, of understanding, respect to understanding. The words that are is respecting the cooking. Let's sit on this one for a second. Hold on. This is good. Of understanding. That's right. In respect to. Slow of speech. In respect to. In respect to. So understanding is in respect. In respect understanding. Here, I'm going to type that and write that out. In respect understanding. How do you like that for a concept? Don't say of, say in respect understanding. In respect. In respect understanding. That's a deep phrase right there, boy. In respect understanding. In respect understanding. Wow, so the words in respect understanding. That's a heavy statement, isn't it? So everyone say it to yourselves. The words in respect understanding. That's something right there. That's it. Pam, are we hitting it? Is this the articulation? I think it is. The words in respect understanding. To discern words in respect. That's it. That's it, Pam. That's it. Pam, that's how you say it. Everybody needs to meditate on what Pam just wrote because that is the answer. And you're going to look at it like a moron, man. It's not what Pam is saying. You're looking at it wrong. Listen to what Pam said. To discern words in respect understanding. If you say it audible, it may not even make sense. You just got to meditate on that. 1 second. That's beautiful. That's poetry in motion right there. You have to be able to understand her discern words, but the understanding's got to respect the discern words. It's two as one. Understand, that's what it is. Pam, you're saying many things at one time. The understanding is in the discern words, but we have to respect the discern words, and that respect comes from understanding the discern words. That's how you say that. It takes 3 or 4 sentences of Pam's sentence to understand the Bina. You understand that, Eric Brian? When a woman speaks a sentence, you have to speak 4 times of 4 different patterns to understand what she's saying. Because she can't say all 4 sentences at once. You got to be in the zone, exactly. It comes out once, it says, in the mouth of God I heard 2. When the mouth of a woman I heard 4. A woman cannot speak 4 sentences for every one and expect to be conscious and sane in this world. They would literally lose their minds. You got to be able to read all 4 sentences inside the one sentence. That's why you just say, okay. Okay. And mean it. It's got to be respect. Not lip service. Just okay. I'll meditate on that. Okay. I'm going to meditate on that. No, and don't think she's a hypocrite, because she's meditating on it also. When you're sitting there going, oh, Mayor Brian, I don't need to listen to a woman tell me what to do. Pam's sitting over there meditating on it all. She's saying, what did I say? What did I mean? What did he mean? What is that? What just happened? It's all meditation. So by the time you're complaining at the post office, Pam just did the Rashi Tosfos on the sentence, and she's got 20 more sentences as she did. Multiply that out to the power of 4. Who's going to win that argument? Who's going to win that argument? You're a moron man complaining, and Bina just goes exponential each time. Then you moved on and didn't acknowledge it, and she's going to meditate on that. It could be 5 years. 5 years. To the point where it comes out in practicality, is there a problem? The answer is always no. No problem. It's okay. It's all right. No worries. And the only way to undo the damage you've done is to talk about it, do tshuva, and eventually go back to the root cause, is understand with respect. You got to go back to the root cause and understand the root. It's just going to keep going out in exponential. Now, it's not for naught. There's wisdom there. But the point is not for you to get 20,000 sentences like an Obama healthcare manual. When the words don't come through real clearly, will often remind each other to listen to what the words represent. An invitation to go to the root of the matter. Like, exactly. Just go back to the root. It's not even about you're wrong and you said. Saying doesn't mean anything at that point. Just go to the root, because that's where the wisdom was. The initial 4 sentences, that's where it's at. That's how you reboot. How you guys feeling about this? All right. If you would just cooperate, that's what Solomon's saying. If you would just cooperate at the first sentence, then we could talk. We could have a conversation. We can get to the icker. We can get the words. Because that's the real question. Even the women are asking the same question. What is the articulation of the and of? It's not a matter of, did you get my shampoo right, really? It's about the words that come into that sentence of, can you get my favorite shampoo? The real question is, what are the words? Just we said that the is a command word. I can't get the definition of the if I don't ask you to go get my favorite shampoo. Otherwise, what am I going to say? The to myself? Hey, Dave, there's the cabinet. Oh, hey, the cabinet. How you doing over there? Here's my computer. Hey, the computer. How are you? That's called a kids' television show. That's called Pee-wee's Playhouse. So if you want to get out of Pee-wee's Playhouse, it's got to become interactive. That means real life's got to happen. What does the Torah do? It has Torah and mitzvahs. You enact the part of God. You put God in motion. You put it on display. You go do mitzvahs. Must have excellent communication. Be on this. That's it. That's it. And look, does there not need to be shampoo bought? Are we not going to shower and eat and whatever? Right? So if there has to be shampoo bought, there has to come through a form of communication and command. I have to be here to do what I need to do. You need to respect that. Just go do it. And I guarantee you'll come back with something to say. So when you come back and I say, what took you so long? Don't say I had nothing to say. By definition, you have something to say. I sent you on a mission, and you probably came back with $1 billion. By definition, if you go buy my favorite shampoo, you will come back home with 1,000 words. I just want to talk about it. When your kid scrapes his knee saying, it's okay, it's not the same as picking them up. Wait, hold on 1 second. 1 second, before I address that. Pam, Loretta, Shannon, is this, are we in resonance on this? I want to check with the home base here. All right. Eric Bryan, when your kid scrapes his knee saying, it's okay, it's not the same as picking them up. Same sentiment. What do you mean? What do you mean? Kind of shrug them off? Shrug them off? Yeah. Look, everybody knows that I'm both parents, right? So I have a bit of unique whatever in this. Agreed? So give me my opinion here. That's what I'm asking. You guys want to hear this? This is just my opinion. Eric, you asked me my opinion. My take on it is I'm not a very good mom, right? I'm not as compassionate as Pam, okay? And I don't claim to be, but I try my best. And I can be a great grizzly bear dad, which you guys can probably imagine that. So my advice is, when you need to be mom, be mom. When you need to be dad, be dad. And you need to use your best judgment to know. And I think you'll know. Look, the answer is you know when to do it. Eric, you may not have been in position because most men aren't. I think women are more in position to do both. But when Reuven needs a good kick in the butt, I know when to lay down the law and be grizzly dad. And when it's time to cave in and be soft mom, you just know when to do it. You know, it's, for example, when Reuven starts up, and I gotta be grizzly dad because soft moms is not the answer. Go to bed, and he's in there, and I know I gotta be stern to get the point across. But I think where a lot of guys then go and do guy stuff in the man cave, and then it's the mom that goes into compassion mode. As a sole parent, you kind of know the kid's breaking point. Women in the class, you guys agree with this? You know the kid's breaking point of where it's not cool anymore, that they suffer. Sometimes they got to suffer. They get little attitudes. But there's a point where it's just not man anymore. It's not masculine. This is not a dude thing. I'm trying to connect. Exactly. You just got to know their breaking point. That's it. When Reuben's done, he's just done. He got the message. Okay, I shouldn't have left class and had the teacher yell at me, right? He got that message. I threatened to take away the soccer ball. We yelled a little bit, made him freaked out, going to bed without TV, 1 or 2, right? Grizzly dad struck, right? 1 or 2. And then he's in there and you think, oh man, this little dude's in there in bed. All alone, okay? He doesn't know what dad's doing. He doesn't even know if tomorrow he's going to be watching TV, if life is over. Let's say he may be asleep, but he's definitely going down to bed. It's 15 minutes after I put him down, and he's freaked out. That's when dad's done. You go in there, you're now mom, and you're like, you walk in. This is what I do. And you give him the kiss on the forehead, and hold his hand. It's your mom. This is not dad anymore. And you're there like, hey, man, I'm good with you. And okay, see you, Space Coast. And you say, you just level with him. It's no longer, he got the point. He's broken. It's like, housebreaking a puppy. He's done. And now you just love and kiss and make him feel like he's awesome and tomorrow's a great day. Because anything you do, like Pam said, it's just cruel. Anything beyond that. He got the point. He realized he can't do it, and now it's all compassion until tomorrow. You guys agree with it, Pam? How do you feel about that? You do what you got to do to the lessons learned, and then it's over. Over, Red Rover. You don't hold that grudge. It's just, it doesn't do anything. It's beyond fruitless. Like Pam said, it's cruel and it's counterproductive. No grudges. That's it. That's the lesson I've learned, and it's an easy lesson to learn. It's just that when you don't have to be in that position, you don't think about the compassion part. But when you're all alone with it and you realize that little kid's in there alone and doesn't understand, he knows he did something wrong, but he doesn't know what happens next. Is this like where dad throws me out the window or what happens here? And that's what I'm saying. That's where you got to break it down. And it's like, you got to admit the game because you weren't that mad. You really weren't that mad. The fact that he kicked the soccer ball in the house really did not. It's the post office. Oh, I'm going to get fired. That's the answer. Eric Bryan, did you get fired? 1 or 2. You're at the post office. Did you get fired? 1 or 2. Okay. Did you really care about the soccer ball? Did you really care about the soccer ball? Little kid, a soccer ball in the house, bad kid, blah, 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 blah. Did you really care? No. Okay. So once you stop being moron man and you admit to yourself that it's just a soccer ball, that's when you go in and there never was a soccer ball. Not to you and not to him. There was no soccer ball. Never heard of a soccer ball. It's just, hey, buddy, you're the best. And, I know you're just tired day. And, I was busy today too. And I didn't spend attention with you because you didn't. Because you're being moron man. And you know you were. Because when the kid plays soccer in the house, it's because dad's being moron man. And that's okay. You're allowed you have the right to be a moron in their house. You got work to do. It's not time to play soccer but 5 minutes before dinner, is it, Eric Bryan? It's not time to play soccer. But the fact is, it didn't ruin your dinner, okay? It didn't ruin anything. And you had every right to be a moron. You wanted to sit down after a long day and have a steak and mashed potatoes, right? You had that right? But you were being a moron to get that steak and mashed potatoes. So when it's all said and done, he got his pajamas on, and he's in bed, and he didn't want to eat dinner anyways. That's a whole separate issue. Now you just go in there and just level with him. Hey, we're all a bunch of morons. It happens. If I love you, no harm, no foul. All right. Here we go. Does anybody have a microphone? Take over the mic here since Space Coast left. Anybody want to grab the mic? Hello, hello, hello. Anyone? Hello, 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 hello. All right, that's me. Okay. Let's see. I'll take over here. Where were we? Slow of speech. We got 6, 7, and 8 to go. Well, more than that, actually. Well, there's a whole bunch of them. Oh, man, I'd appreciate someone take the mic. No one? All right. Let's call it there. Let's call it there, and we'll do part 2 of Pam. If you could take notes, please. Remind us where we left off. We left off with on our Webster's Dictionary, and please save the link, Pam. Save this link. I don't want to search for it next time. All right, this is the link. All right, and on that link, we left off with, hold on, 5B. Write that down, 5B, on the link page of 5B. And give us what we're talking about is just the definition of. Everybody take notes to get me back in the motion, in the mode of thought about of what it means and identity and mazel, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just get me back on the thing. Okay? And we're gonna start with 6A on the link. And then we are for sure going to look up the word understanding. Okay? After we do the second class of, we're going to do one more class of English of understanding, and then we're ready for the going.